Hey everyone. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. Hello everyone. Aaron. Hello, Lori Joe, Gloria, Loretta, Sherry, Loretta, of course, Loretta, Barbara. Good morning. Chilly. It's chilly where you're at. And then our dean, Leslie, my friend from sort of Western Mass, right? And Melinda's from Lynchburg, Virginia. There's Barbara. There's two Barbaras on today. Barbara Williamson and Barbara Lanier. Good morning. Hi, Joyce. So this morning is it's our last visit for this year. And I got to tell you, as much as I love being with you, this was a terrible year for me as far as my health. So I am so looking forward to turning over a new leaf and starting with a bang in 2024. I have two chemotherapy sessions scheduled, and then I'll be done. I'm hoping that this is the part that works and I can get back to doing all my fun stuff. And this year I'm determined to be organized and have projects laid out for us beforehand. Like I've already picked out a project for a Monday's class. So just to verify, there won't be anything after today. There won't be anything on Saturday or Sunday. Sunday's New Year's Eve, but I'll be on New Year's Day at 9 o'clock. I will not be here on Tuesday morning, but I'm hoping to have projects for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So there you go. So anyway, today we're going to do a 3D project. We're going to actually be using a couple of extra tools, which include a glue gun. This one here is the only one I have. It's the Cricut one, which is not bad. It's not a bad glue gun as far as glue guns go. I think maybe a little overpriced, but we're also going to be doing some inking, and we're going to be making a 3D object, which is this. Yesterday I showed you the all black one, but I thought, a gold and black one would look really, really nice. This is a 3D star that's easily cut and put together using these tools, using your Cricut or other cutting machine. And to cut a star, I think it can be a little intimidating putting it together. Cutting it, it seems so basic, but then when you start putting it together, you really have to think hard about it. So let's find my file. This file, I believe, I want to make sure that it's public I did edit project. Okay, here, how about we do this? Make it, your project is public. So my project is public. And I can probably just copy the link here, and I never thought that. I probably should copy the link here and put it on the video so people can be attached straight to the project. But this is a project that we're going to do. It comes from Design Space, and it is a Christmas ornament. If you click on the product description, you can click on the number of the image. And by the way, I just want to tell you, I'm a little stuffed up. I think I'm getting the cold that my sister had, so I apologize, but I'm talking with a cough drop in my mouth so that it can keep my mouth moist, able to talk, because I'm just stuffy and bleh. So anyway, I'm going to click on this image number. And you can see it comes up. It looks very Christmassy. I'm going to click on that triple dot and view the image set, which is part of, it's just a very small image set called 3D Ornaments. So it's from here. We've done a couple of these other kinds of ornaments, paper ornaments in the past, but if you have an interest in them, I can show you how to do those. But this, the one that is the star, let's bring it in here so you can have a look, see. Okay, not terribly sure why I thought that I saved and started new. All right, so let's go new. And we're going to go images, image sets, type in 3D. Here, all the 3D, there's pinwheels, there's lanterns, there's hats, there's trees, there's ornaments, which is what we're looking for. There's bows, Chinese lanterns, houses, ornaments, 3D flowers. This is a print and cut. Some of this is print and cut, I think. Oh, look, and the Valentine's mailbox. I always wanted to make one of those. Okay, so let's go to 3D ornaments, and we're going to choose this, which is a 3D star. And we're going to add it to the canvas. Now, this is how it comes in, and you're thinking, how is that a star? I'm going to make it bigger just so you can kind of see what it is. So let's ungroup it. And it consists of these little panels. There's 2 different types of panels, and this is a 5-pointed star. 4, 5. So you're going to need 4 for each of the pieces of 3D that we're doing. Now, I'm not really sure why they've done it this way, but they have. So there are 4 pieces of white and 1 piece of off-white. I haven't figured that out yet. So what I'm going to do is I would like for all of my pieces to be gold glitter, or if I had mirror foil, like foil mirror paper, I would probably do it in that. Those are going to be the parts that I use glitter here, right? And then all of my other pieces I want to make in black, but I can remember that. So I'm just going to go over to Color Sync, which is, it's sort of like the switch label from layers to Color Sync. And you'll see here, I've got 2 different colors of red, but I want just 1 color of red. So I'm going to start taking this one and pulling it up, this one that ends 3C, and I'm going to pull it up to the 3-4, the number that ends in 3-4. So there you go. I've made them all the same color. And now I have to take this off-white one and put it into the white one. So now we're ready to cut, except for size. So what I would do is just go ahead and do an align center. And I've cut this on a number of different sizes, but I believe a 7-inch width, if once you have all those images together, a 7-inch width will work out for you. If you're concerned about using too much glitter paper because you don't have enough, you can always remove these 2 from being attached, because they're put together, so you would have to contour them out, which is kind of an advanced thing, but I have done that before because I didn't want to waste a lot of a certain kind of paper. And this is what I mean, just so that you know, when the red stuff comes up, there's a waste of a lot of paper in here. So you can do a few things. You can turn these things around and get more on your paper like that. So that way you can have 6 on here instead of 4. And you can do that by going to each and moving them. You say move object. and then brings you to which mat do you want to put it on. So there I go. There's my other mat. So I'm able to 1, 2, 3, and just make sure you don't overlap on anything. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could probably get a 6th one on here. So that's because this happens because the way the image is put together and welded together. So you end up having to like break it apart. And the only way to break it apart, because it's not a group. Sorry about the dog. Hey, hello. Stop that now. The only way to break it apart is by doing contour. I don't want to get into that too much today, because really putting this together is going to take us a little bit of time. So let's go down here and have a look at what we're creating. And I'm going to give it a bit of a wide berth so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. So this is a 3D star, and it's created simply with paper and glue. There are a couple of techniques that I want to show you today. One has to do with inking, which people who watch me regularly know I'm not a person who likes to do a lot of inking, but I did notice in my prototype that because I'm cutting with glitter cardstock, which glitter cardstock has a white core. See on the back, it's white and it has a white core. And so what that does is it causes, if you're not covering up that whiteness, you're going to see a very strict line that is around here. It wouldn't look so bad if the back of the star was white, but in this case our star is black, and I did not like the way that it looked. So what I decided to do is get all my pieces, which are all right here, and I'm going to take one of these. This is Sukineko. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Anyway, these guys make, I think it's a Japanese company that makes these beautiful ink pads, and they do a lot of pigment inks. And you might have these, they call these dewdrops because they're shaped like a little drop. And this particular pack is a silver, platinum, copper, and gold. So I'm going to use the gold today, but if I had a different color, I would use the different color. So what I'm going to do, open it up. The idea about these is that they stand on their own with or without the cover. Nice, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of my pieces and I'm going to just sort of pounce on the edges of my pieces. Now, what I found was if you didn't do the pounce and instead you did this, it will cut your sponge. So try to do the pouncing, or you don't want to, you want to be able to reuse this ink pad. And this, by the way, a pigment ink pad will last practically forever. I have some that are still from the 90s that still work. As long as you keep, it doesn't even mean as long as you keep, it doesn't dry from the air. It's not like a regular ink pad. It's a pigment ink pad, which is sort of hybrid. The hybrid ones are the ones by Tim Holtz, the distressed, because they're a combination of pigment and regular ink. Okay, now some of these I already did because I can tell, I can see here, but I'm just going through making sure that I did them all. So it's just going to take out that harshness of the line, So pounce, 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 pounce. Let's see. Now, if you don't or can't find one of these, you can also use, it's a little messier, but you can also use your gold marker that comes from Cricut, and you can, on the side of the tip there, not like this with the tip, but on the side, just sort of pull it over. I don't know what they're talking about, but you could do it this way if you don't have this kind of ink. Come on, you guys, stop it now. Everybody's off today, I think, because the holiday being on I don't know, something about the holiday. I don't know, my sister did something weird, like she worked 10-hour days so that she could have Friday and Monday off. And so I don't know how that works. We were talking a little bit about, I don't know, the workforce, because I was talking to my uncle who's 80 years old. I was talking to my uncle, and he was telling me about a job. I don't know if he was like trying to get me to work or something, but he was telling me about Dunkin' Donuts now pays their workers $17 an hour. The thing is, though, because he's 80 years old, he doesn't realize that the minimum wage in Massachusetts, I don't know if that's federal, but the minimum wage in Massachusetts went up to $15. So to get $17 to work, and they still can't find people to work. That was the whole thing. And so I was like, well, the minimum wage is 15, so 17 is not going to even do it. And basically, that's still, at 17, is still like $30,000 or maybe $33,000 a year. How are you supposed to survive on that? You just can't. Anyway, okay, that's me on my little rant about the economy. It's hard because I'm on a fixed income, basically. And so they give you cost of living increases, but it's never enough. And you end up paying like $6 for a dozen eggs. I don't know. It's so weird. It's hard to get old. Anyway. All right. So we've done this part, and now the next part is going to be the actual legs or the petals of the star. And you'll notice there's quite a few score lines here. Now make sure that you're at least using your scoring stylus, but if you have a scoring wheel with a maker machine, you can use it for that as well. But the alternative there is the stylus. Now I am going to use my scraper. Oh, there it is. And just so that I can get a really nice crisp point, especially at the end of the paper, like this, you see? And then these are going to be the tabs that will make sense. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to get it all really nice and creased. And then we're going to get our glue, which I just had here, not our hot glue. Where's our regular glue, Rita? Oh my goodness. My mother called herself a dingbat this morning. I was like, man, I haven't heard that term since Archie Bunker. Dingbat. Isn't that what they used to call her? Man, can you imagine that show being on today? Oh, whoa. It would be a real conversation piece for sure. Anyway, but I was like, dingbat. Where did that come from? She can't even remember what day of the week it is half the time. But I wouldn't call her a dingbat. It's such a terrible thing to call somebody. Oh, you're going to have hot pot and cheese fondue. Are you doing the hot pot at home and everything? Yep, times have changed. Times have changed. Or does anybody remember that song? And they often rewound the clock. Ella Fitzgerald. There's today. Any sharp A should try to. Oh man, I know there's a line about Plymouth Rock coming up, but I don't remember it. Instead of landing on Plymouth Rock. Yeah, there it is. Plymouth Rock would land on them. In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked at as mighty shocking. Anything goes. Anything goes, really. And they made that song was from the, I don't know, 30s or 40s, maybe. I think it was part of a play. What's up, buddy? You're really being annoying today. He is starving to death. He's told me 100 times already today. I am starving to death, Mom. Right? All right. So now that we have this, I'm going to use a little thicker glue than I normally use. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that tab so that I now have this, and I need to make all 5 of these pieces. So there's 1, there's 2, and I just have to keep folding. On the family stream now? Where does it stream? You know, I gotta laugh because I know like a lot of you probably have cable. There used to be, when I was growing up, there used to be a TV show on, and I think it was on repeat then, and they would have it on like every afternoon when you got home from school, Green Acres with Arnold the Pig, and I don't know if it was Zsa Zsa Gabor or one of the Gabor sisters. Anyway, free, right? So I see it on cable, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that. That was such a funny little show. And they'd have the guys come in. It was like they lived in a farm, and they were from Fifth Avenue and stuff. It was really funny. Anyway, I go to play it, and they want to charge me they want me to buy the season. Now this thing has been probably on copyright, off of copyright law for how many years? It came out in the 60s. And so what? That's almost like 50, 60 years ago. 60 years ago it came out. And they still want to make money off of me. And it's cable. I mean, cable, I already pay cable money. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. I'm probably not supposed to get too old because I'm so shocked by what things have changed. And now I know I'm older because it shocks me. And I'm usually not somebody that gets shocked about anything, but it shocks me, some of the stuff that they're able to put on TV versus in a movie, and now cable. I didn't realize that cable had permission because it wasn't a federally broadcasted program. So that's why they're able to, if it's federally broadcasted, which is ABC, NBC, CBS, you know, those, they have certain different standards and practices than the ones that are on cable television because it's not run by the government. So did you know that? The government, the FCC is in charge of the broadcasting stations like ABC, NBC, CBS. So they have control over what can be said or not said in terms of, their standards. But cable news, cable like Fox News, whatever, CNN, when CNN came out, they were cable news. So that means that they could do kind of whatever they wanted to some extent. Like, wow, I did not even know that. Because they had to be, because it was a form of journalism before. The broadcasting station was a form of journalism, is a form of journalism, but they don't consider cable news journalism. So I guess that's the whole thing about it. I don't know. What do I know? Miss Rita, if you can get me the Me TV. Oh, great. Thank you, Diana. She says, if I can get the Me TV channel with your current service, Green Acres is on in the evening, you won't have to pay extra. So it's on a TV program called Me TV. All right. I know. Before my mom came to live here, I only had internet service and I streamed everything. But my mom likes to watch, like we've spent the last 6 to 8 weeks watching Lifetime, whatever, Hallmark Channel, the Christmas stuff. So now I'm like, well, what are they going to put on after Christmas? Well, apparently they have New Year's or whatever, but then they go back to their regular programming. Unfortunately, I don't know what their regular programming is, so I'm kind of at a loss. Anyway, so now I've done my 5 legs, my 5 points of my star, and now I'm going to go ahead and glue on the little pieces. Now, I told you that they're slightly different, so you have to, it's kind of a bit of a puzzle. You need to go and make sure that you have the one that is with the highest peak here and the one with the highest peak there, or else they won't match up. But you should have, at the end of the day, you should have all the pieces for the entire 5. What are they called? Armed? Are stars the little, the each thing of the star called a, is it a star burst? What do they call that? I'm going to say arm because it kind of seems like it could be an arm. If anybody knows, jump in on the chat and tell me. Hey, Christiana, she would know. Christiana would know. Bobby, a max petition for illustration. But, I mean, not to sort of bring down everybody, but cable is so expensive now. I mean, I got my mom the cable because I thought, that's what we're going to watch. But she doesn't, take full advantage of it all. She kind of doesn't know how to pick a channel. And, because it can be a little bit confusing anyway. But I think that I could probably find her little Lifetime movies and stuff and maybe pay less than $20 a month, because I'm paying cable $200 a month. That's ridiculous, $200 a month. So this is what I'm doing, everyone. I am putting all 4. Anyway, I know now we got to start talking about crafts, because I'm going to get somebody saying Too much talking. I wouldn't mind, but oh my gosh, the talking. And I'm like, well, you could just turn the volume down, right? Oh, there's Owen. Hi, Owen.
Hi.
Everybody will say hi to Owen. Yeah, $200 I pay. And it's not for anything special. Like, no, none of the pay channels. It's for, first of all, I live in Massachusetts, so it's pleasantly known as Taxachusetts. So there's all kinds of taxes. So they can quote you these like really low rates and everything, but then they don't tell you, oh, by the way, you know, you have to pay this fee and that fee and the other fee. Like, Owen has to take his, what do you call it? His driving school. So I signed him up for the driving school yesterday. And there was on it, at first I thought, you know, gosh, that's a lot of money for, you know, for the classes, but they had a bundle price. So I chose that. And I'm looking at the final thing, and there's a $54 service fee. $54. I mean, guys, today is not the day to go get yourself like a Michael's or store type of credit card, because the interest rate I saw is 33%. I mean, I'm sorry. I think there should be something. It's like predatory lending or something. I think this should be something that tells people, look at, if you sign up for, because they make it so easy for you to sign up for a credit card and so easy to default on it, they should have something where they're not allowed to charge more than 18%, which I always thought was ridiculous, 18%. But then we've creeped up to the 18%. Nobody can get out of debt. And that's exactly where they want you. They want you to owe $20,000, $30,000 in credit cards. When, you know, back in the 70s when credit cards were new, credit, you know, you didn't get credit. You had to save up for stuff. I don't know. Raspberry Pi? Oh, and do you know what a Fire Stick or Raspberry Pi is? Is he still here? I don't think he's still here. The store cards are bad. 33 and some change %. And and the penalty fee was like $54. I was like, you're kidding me. Read the fine print, everyone. Don't get hooked up into that sort of thing. I know. Ridiculous. I'm not even sure when they first came out with store cards if they even did interest. I'm trying to remember when I had my Jordan Marsh card or my Feline's card. I don't even know if they gave you. Leslie, do you know? I'm on a rant today. I don't know why. I am super excited for the new year. I have some really cool things that I want to accomplish this year. And last year just went, or I shouldn't say last year, this year just went to heck in a handbasket really quickly. right after Valentine's Day, it became so terrible. And I was like, well, all right, I'm being tested. So there you go. All right. Yikes. I don't know why, but this piece of glitter paper is not wanting to stick. Now, these could be done in any color, any matching, whatever. You could, if you wanted to make a couple of them for somebody's birthday or for 4th of July, and you want to make them red and blue. This is, and you can make them big too if you wanted to make giant stars to hang. There is a really cool star that SVG Cuts had. Well, actually, there's two kinds. One is, it's like an open star. I want to show you how to make that because it was such a cool thing to make. And you could put it outside for a party in the summertime. And I was thinking also could be something as like an indoor decoration because made with paper during the winter. So that, like, kind of like people who put snowflakes up for the winter, which I like to put snowflakes up. I wonder if I can find some more snowflakey kind of projects. There's a wonderful Anna Griffin card that's all the snowflakes, and I've used it for a New Year's card a couple of times, and it's really just stunning. Oop. Getting down to the last ones, and I have to match them up. I might actually have a couple left over of these. All right, so we want to do this part maybe a little ahead of time, or give this part some time to dry. I find working with the arms is so much easier when the things aren't falling off and they're still kind of wet with the glue. So consider that, give it, some time, or if you're slow like me, you might figure by the time you get to that one, it will be completely dry. And yes, this also is the time to decide how you want to hang this, because if you want to hang it, or how you want to display it, I should say. If you want to hang it, I would suggest use some sort of filament wire, like fishing wire, but you can find that also in a craft store. And if you wanted to, say, turn it into a plant decoration, because I always take my Christmas stuff down and my poor plants are like, boo, like they look so sad. Even the poinsettias, they kind of look sad sitting there while the Christmas tree is down. And yet, what do we do with them, right? My sister bought me this enormous poinsettia this year because I don't know, because it was huge. It was from Costco. And it was only like $15, so I feel like it must have been marked down. Whoa. All right, we're getting to the end part here, and then I'm going to go ahead and plug in my glue gun. I would not recommend, because I did try, I would not recommend putting this star together without the use of a glue gun. Without the use of a glue gun, you have to wait for the wet glue to dry. Now, this is me saying that because I do not like glue guns at all. So that's me saying it. It was my last resort. I tried the liquid glue, 2 different kinds, and I was like, this is frustrating. Why would I ever want to do this or show anybody how frustrating this is? Because it was. So we're going to use our Cricut glue gun that we got. I don't know when that came out. Last year, this year. I think it came out this year, actually. But you could use any glue gun you want. It's up to you. All right. But definitely a glue gun. All right. So this can be a little tricky. in terms of putting together the star. Until you can kind of like conceptualize it, you might have to be like holding the pieces together and going, is this the right placement type of thing. See, I told you I had 2 pieces left over. All right. Last bit. And if you are sort of new to our family here, a little club, say hello and get to know the folks here, because they come back a lot, and some people are here every day, and they're just terrific people. The best part of this program is not me demonstrating, but them. I gotta plug in my okay, so that's plugged in, and we're gonna take from the bottom first. So we're gonna need 2 to get started once our hello. Oh, Babs is here. Hi, Babs. All right. You are multitask. I know, same thing. Like sometimes when I sit through meetings, I still will be cutting. And if I'm in a Zoom, I can do that because I can turn off my sound and I can just have my, I wonder how many people actually do that, but I do it. Because sometimes my meetings can be so boring. All the rules and everything. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Let's take all 5 of our pieces. So a star has like a head and 2 arms and 2 legs, right? And they're going to, first you might be thinking, how do these go on? Well, what I found out is that there are these 2 tabs. Every single piece has a tab. So there are 2 tabs that you're going to bring together. So I just want to show you that, right? And then as you move along, you would also do the back. Okay, so first we're going to do this one, then we're going to do this one, and we'll be going around and making all 5 points that way. It's a little confusing at the beginning. It's still not ready though. Oh, well, I'm pushing it with my hand. I probably shouldn't do that. I thought it turned green when it was ready, but I might be wrong. All right, and then we're gonna match these up. Just like that. Try to get as close to the edge there as you can. And then turn it around and sort of pinch it. Make sure that that glue gets on both pieces there. Okay, and then once we have the front done, we're going to turn it over and we're going to do the back. And what I did find, if I put a little too much of glue on there, is I do get a little bit of this extra glue, and since it's still pretty hot, I just left it there because I felt like nobody would be looking that closely at the middle of my star. All right, and so then comes, now we have 2 together. Isn't that great? You could do it this way. We have 2 and 2 and then the final one, but I just built on the other one, making sure that these tabs are inward. And we're going to line up again the front, and then we'll do the back, okay? Watch your fingers here with the glue. All right. All right, make sure you get those really well adhered. Pinch the inside there. All right. Then turn it around and do this side, the back. Pretty excited about this weekend. I usually do nothing on New Year's or New Year's Eve or weekend or whatever. But this time I'm actually going to have a game night with my son and Andy, who's my sister's friend. They have a kid about the same age, and I suggested, well, let's have a game night. I haven't done that in like practically ever. Although Owen and I have had our share of two-person Monopoly. We did that for a while. But he's never shown too much interest in other games. So even though he had a lot of games, I ended up giving them all away because he never was interested. But I like those card games where, like, they're called like Taco Cat. I don't know, something like that, where you can, it's like it's a pairing game, kind of like Old Maid. Remember the Old Maid pairing game? But it's like Taco Cat, something like that. And then there's one called Exploding Kittens, which I don't know. I don't have that one, but I remember the Taco Cat one, which I thought was pretty funny. All right, look at it. We're almost done. Now, here's where it gets a little dicey, okay? And that is in getting these pieces, this last piece put on. And the reason why it gets dicey is that the way that we've already put this in, it makes for a wide thing, but I found that giving it a little bit of a push in makes it less wide and makes the sides come together better. So we're gonna kind of work just like we've been working, but might have to do a little pushing and prodding. Just to get everybody got their together, their stars. And let's see, anybody, is there somebody that who's a swimmer? Somebody swimming? Cheryl, I didn't know you were a swimmer. I love to swim. I cannot wait. That's my goal for this year, is to get back to my swimming routine because I just really love it. All right, this is the tough part. Remember, patience is a virtue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, hopefully I can get both sides semi-glued by pushing these together. But I'm sort of gently pushing down on this because I want for it to adhere like this, but I might have to come back and put in a little bit more glue. See what I mean? Like, it was pretty wide and I'm pushing down a little bit because I want that last piece to catch, and I want to give it a few minutes to catch. So that wasn't so hard, was it? I mean, let's see. It's 45 minutes. 2 hours, 3 times a week. I was doing five times a week, but 1 hour, 5 times a week. So I was doing 5 aisles. Oh, how's the hubby doing, Babs? Oh, you guys go and walk the mall. That's great. That sounds terrific. Yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I can't even remember which one I just did, but yes, there will be, unless you are some sort of supreme god of glue guns, there will be some little marks here and whatever, but it's a really nice star, and you can make it different sizes. You could make it larger for sure, and even smaller, I'm sure, to make it more of an ornament size. But I hope that you have learned something and enjoyed time together. This can't be the one I just did. This is the one I just did. It has very few gaps. But if you do get gaps, like right here, I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there. But if there was a gap, I would just put a little extra glue and push it together. But now there's too much glue in there. But you get better as you practice as well. So, anyway. So we know those people, though. We know those people, Loretta, that like they get on there and they're like, I'll teach you every trick there is to know about cutting with your Cricut. And I'm like, good for them. They have to stay all up to date on all the changes. Every time you turn around, there's a change. So I don't know. Anyway, that is our lesson for today. For Monday, when I will be back, we are doing a free card. So you might want to, let me get the card out that we're doing. It's from Craft with Sarah. And it's very similar to those shadow boxes everybody liked to do this past year. And so I added a little thinking of you in there because I always remember cards being available at Hallmark after the holiday. Like, I don't know, people maybe know that some people spent a holiday, then it was been a tough one or whatever, and that they would send out something instead of like happy, cheer, joy, love, that maybe they send out these sort of, know you're hurting. I think my sister went through that this year, what I would call a blue Christmas, so it's tough because her kids don't have a dad anymore, and that sort of thing. So not everybody enjoys the holidays. And it's sometimes hard to put aside, troubles and everything just for one day, but so it does make you feel good when you can at least appreciate what it is, another wonderful day to live. Maybe it's not the perfect circumstances, but an ability to be able to change it for next time, that sort of thing. So that's what I think. Anyway, this is our project for Monday, and it is from Craft with Sarah, and I'm going to show you her website before we leave. Okay. Yes, I could use a small, and I thought of that, Diana. I did think of that, and I was like, huh. Anyway, this is the Craft with Sarah website, and what you do is you log on craftwithsarah.com, and then you sign up for her newsletter. When you sign up and do the whole newsletter thing, you can pick and choose from her many SVGs that are free. She also sells her SVGs, and she has now Facebook page, or she had a Facebook page, and so there's quite a few freebies there. And I really liked this cardinal card. I just like the whole cardinal thing anyway, but and you can just go in there. She also sells them, and she's from the UK, so I just think, nice selection of freebies there, and I thought that I would show you that one. And then I'm going to show you one for Chinese New Year, and then what's the other one? St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up. So we're going to be doing that. There's also a couple of New Year signs that I wanted to get to this year, but I didn't get to it before New Year. So these are the two signs that I was thinking about doing. Maybe I'll have time over the weekend. I don't know. But anyway, I will see you all on Monday. And it's so good. Oh, we're getting lots of really good tips on working with heat guns and glue guns on the comment section. Yeah. Oh, I did not know that you lost your daughter. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Gail. Oh, wow. Yeah, and being alone's a little tough too. All right, you guys. Blessings, blessings. Everything, just pray on it, and what did Jesus say? This too shall pass. That was the thing. So everyone, I hope you have a lovely New Year's Eve, and I will see you on New Year's Day so that we can do this lovely card with the cardinal, with the optional. I put this particular thing in as well. So all right, everyone. Thank you so, so much. I love you all. I've so appreciated your help, your prayers, your just reminders of why I do what I do, because this has been a tough year for me, and I'm so looking forward to the new year, and I want to, I just want to have a great time and show you all kinds of wonderful content in the new year. That's my raison d'etre, my reason for living. All right. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. We'll see you again on January 1st, 2024. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.